Number quickly falls. Pitch to Peno. Outside, back pick to Censeri. He's back in safely. Oilers beat the Chinooks last night by a final score of 8-4. Secured the season series against Chugiak, and now a magic number of just 4. For Peninsula, could be 3.
Yep.
If they down the Miners tonight, looking good for that final playoff spot. We know the first 3 teams in the playoffs will be the Pilots, the Miners, and the Bucks. They have all clinched. 1-2 pitch to Josh Peno. Taken for a strike. And now it's a 2-strike count on Peno.
Good for this Oilers team to be back in the hunt, to get back in the mix for the playoffs. They missed it last season, and I know they're hungry for it. That's a scrappy bunch down there from the Peninsula.
Count is 2-2. Ryan Gill a bit confused as well. He signaled 2-1. Everybody having trouble with the counts early on. Trying to get our headspace right as we're playing a game that we weren't sure would get started. 2-2 pitch to Peno. Censeri starts and stops, and this pitch is grounded through the left side of the infield for a base hit. Back-to-back knocks for the Miners. 2 on, nobody out.
Seeing eye, Howie. That is all it needs to be. If you're just joining us, Casey Censeri, a base hit to start it out in the infield. And a very solid start for Chandler David as well on the mound. But now Blake Avila, first time getting to play in this ballpark in a while. A lot has happened since then. We kind of see him been moved over to this DH role. In that time, slid into the number 3 spot pretty well here.
If you're wondering, yes, is your answer. Connor Kershaw is related to Clayton Kershaw. He's his second. Pitch to Blake Avila is taken down and in for ball 1. 9 walks, 13 strikeouts for Kershaw, who brings a 4.40 ERA into play in this one.
It's got to be a lot of pressure, right? I mean, you have Clayton Kershaw in the family. You're on the dad's side, so you share the last name. People know about it, I'm sure. Probably gets asked just about every time.
1-0 to Avila. Swinging a ground ball hit hard. A diving stop by Ethan Firestone, who collects it and steps on the bag. Ethan Firestone took a beating on that ground ball, but produces an out for Peninsula.
That's a big play. I mean, Ethan Firestone, full extension there, lays out. Maybe doesn't snag it cleanly immediately, but keeps the ball in front of him. If that thing skips down the line, it's at least a run. It's no outs. Instead, you're able to get an out, and you're able to keep the runners at bay here.
It's now 1 out and 2 aboard for Alex Vergara. Let's take a quick look at the Miners starting 9.
Yeah, the Miners tonight. Steele be at second base, hitting 9th this evening.
Pitch to Vergara. Misses up and in for ball 1. How many times have we seen Alex Vergara come up in the first inning in a big spot and deliver? His average now up to 291. He's knocked in 26 men, 9 doubles for Vergara, and 3 home runs. A chance for him here to put the Miners in front. The 1-0. Dances off the plate outside. 2-0 now on Vergara. It has just truly been a massive turnaround.
Oh, man.
For Alex Vergara.
That's
he was
insane.
batting 149. And since then, all he's done is hit successfully in 16 of his last 17 games and raise his average by nearly 150 points. He's ahead here 2-0. Fouls this one away.
And how many times has he delivered in situations like this? Runners in scoring position, only 1 out at the moment, but had a lot of big 2-out hits. It has been so fun to watch.
He's ahead in the count here. Doesn't care. He gets behind in the count and he still hits. Censeri on third. He had a single. Peno on second. He had a single. Both advanced on a ground ball by Avila. The 2-1. Downstairs, 3-1. On deck, Nick Sorelli. If Vergara can reach here. Head coach Tyler LeBrun out of the first base dugout, pondering his options and talking with Nick Sorelli. Vergara ahead 3-1. And now ahead 4-1 as he takes a walk. Bases loaded for Nick Sorelli.
Doesn't have to be a big hit every time. Doesn't have to find a gap. Walks are massive. And in a first inning where a lot has gone right for the Miners, just putting the pressure on here. Doing whatever it takes to make Connor feel uncomfortable. It's big time.
Big opportunity for Sorelli here. He's knocked in 12 so far this year. Carries a .239. The pitch, swing and a pop up. This one will find the seats. Sorelli readjusts his batting gloves outside the batter's box. Has a word with Ryan Gill and Carson Seaman. Grasps the bat with his white gloves and throws a black bat over his left shoulder. Gets ready for the 0-1. Swing and a shot, hit out to left. That's going to send Catafias back. He's going to have room. Tagging from third is Censeri. Tagging from second is going to be Peno. Tagging from first is going to be Vergara. How about that sacrifice for Nick Sorelli? An RBI, and he moves up all 3 runners.
Nick Sorelli is going to need to repay Alex Vergara and Josh Peno, for that matter, too. I mean, what an effort that time. 3 tags in 1 fly ball. You never see that. Well executed.
Can't remember the last time I've seen it. Took me a while to get through all 3 of them. The one that matters, Casey Censeri, comes home and scores, but 2 more move up. And
amazing.
2 in scoring position now for Alex Hellman. Newest Miner, 4 for his first 16 and 3 knocked in for Hellman. Censeri comes home for the 24th time and scores first in this one. Pitch to Hellman. Swing and a shot out to second. Shun Sakino has that. Throws it to first to retire the side. The Miners are on the board first. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left. On to the second. Miners 1, Oilers nothing. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts.
Experience the freedom of accessing your account wherever you are. Quickly transfer money.
Of the contest, Graydon West will bat here with nobody aboard and a 1-0 game. Miners lead, slider high. Delivered to Graydon West. Chandler David trying to pull off his best Carter Young impersonation. That's Carter Young for the Glacier Pilots, who struck out 7 men in 2 innings and 14 through 7 against the Miners. 1-0, swing and a miss by West. A dazzling performance by Carter Young. And a dazzling performance by R.J. Elmore, last time out for the Miners. First shutout of the year. A complete game one at that.
Yeah, just cannot say enough.
Graydon West grounds this one out to third. That's a fair ball and a long throw for Casey Censeri. A good one for out number 2.
I mean, what a start. And for a guy that's not a starter. This is a guy that had come out of the bullpen for the first 2-3 weeks for the Miners. Gets that start down there in Kenai, and it just changed everything. I mean, he's brand new pitcher now.
It's huge for the Miners, who can now officially say they have 5 starters. Chase Catafias will bat with nobody on and 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Chandler David's fastball eating the Oilers alive early on. None of them can catch it, and it's getting him ahead in counts. 0-1. Swung on and slapped into right center field. That's going to get down for a hit. Catafias aboard with 2 outs.
Now, we saw the same thing in the first inning. A couple of quick outs and then a little bit of 2-out offense, but it's going to be one of those kind of nights. Just got to work through it. Probably not as much grip down there tonight as we're used to, and for David, it's about just throwing to contact like we've seen him do all season. Get quick outs.
Carson Seaman, the 9-hole hitter for the Oilers, batting 176. He does his best work on the mound for Peninsula. Pitch to him. Fouled straight back, rattling the camera. Seaman, a 1.44 ERA. On the hill, 4 wins for Carson. It's been the best starter for Peninsula this year. But he gets time behind the plate as well. Doing the catching in this one. The 0-1. Fastball right down the middle, strike 2.
At least the rain's holding off here for us.
Haven't seen a drop since this game started. Hope that it stays that way. 0-2 pitch to Seaman. Swing and a miss. David with a couple more strikeouts here in the second. He's through 2 scoreless innings to the bottom. Miners 1, Oilers nothing. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Excited about a fun weekend with family and friends? Make it happen by being safe on the road. Designate a sober driver. Slow down. We want you to arrive alive. This message brought to you by the Alaska Highway Safety Office. Carter Young leads off in the bottom of the second. This is outside. Miners scored in the first. A sacrifice fly by Nick Sorelli brought home Casey Censeri. And now the Miners center fielder leads off the second. Takes down and away, 2-0. Miners trying to do everything they can to keep up with the Pilots, who just refuse to lose. They will play the Glacier Pilots 3 more times this year, but are going to need a little bit of help as well. 2-0. Grounded out to first. Fielded by Ethan Firestone. He is going to make a short flip over to the covering Kershaw for out number 1.
It's going to come down to the wire. I mean, there's no doubt about it. This race for the pennant, it's going to be so fun. And we've kind of teased it all season long. Didn't really know exactly what we'd be looking at this point. But we're looking at a competitive first and second here, and really down to 3 and 4 as well.
Steven Lancia, the batter now. Takes way off the plate outside for ball 1. Wind picks up here at Herman Brothers Field. Blowing hard in from left to right. The 1-0. Swing and a shot down the left field line. That's a foul ball. Lancia just missed extra bases. Hit that ball hard.
Yeah, this wind coming out of nowhere, you hope it's not a sign for weather of the future. It is adjusting our camera, though, getting us a little bit more centered up after the foul ball, so, we appreciate the wind, if nothing else. It's
one of our best working interns, the wind.
Everywhere at all times.
1-1 to Lancia, taken inside.
And that's literal. I mean, it's hard worker.
The Miners have one more win than the Glacier Pilots. They sit at 21-10 entering action. 2-1 to Lancia. Swinging a ground ball out to third. Tricky hop. And a long throw across. That is not a good one by Dalton Bowling. In air. Allows Lancia to reach here in the second.
Yeah, you just got to take advantage of the little things like that there, Howie. Miners already have a lead in this game. You just need 5 innings. That's kind of the strategy, if you want to call it that. Get up early, get a couple runs, and get through 5, but taking advantage of mistakes, something we talk about all the time that this team does pretty dang well.
This is Jacob Steele now. A 3-hit game for Jacob the last time we saw him on Sunday in a game against the Bucks. Average up around 200 now, 12 runs, 8 knocked in. Shows bunt, yanks it back, and takes a called strike on a ball that was dropped by Carson Seaman. That was kind of funny. He dropped the ball, picked it back up, and then brought it over to frame it for Ryan Gill after he had dropped it.
Yeah, you never know. Sometimes get the umpire to budge a little bit for you.
0-1 the count on Steele. Pitch to Jacob. Swing and a shot into the left center field gap. That one's going to drop in for a hit. Lancia around second and heads for third. Burnham gets to the ball. Watson's going to wave Lancia. Here comes the relay. It's bobbled at the second base bag. An RBI double for Jacob Steele. Puts the Miners in front 2-0.
What a pure swing that time from Jacob Steele. Shot it right into the gap. No doubt there. And Steven Lancia read it perfectly as well. I think sometimes you see fly balls like that, you kind of hesitate a second. You don't want to believe it's going to be in that much open territory, but it was. And his jump allowed him to score.
A little bit of a trouble with the transfer near the second base bag as Becker tried to field the relay. Probably would have had no chance to get Lancia anyway, but we will never know as they couldn't even get a relay to the plate. So RBI double for Steele. And now back to the top of the order with Casey Censeri. First pitch. Outside, 1-0. The Miners trail the Pilots in the loss column by 4 games. 10 losses to the Pilots 6. That equates to a 1.5 games back for the Miners, who, as I mentioned, even if they beat the Pilots all 3 times, if the Glacier Pilots were able to win their remaining 11 games outside of that, they would be first place in the Alaska Baseball League regular season.
It's a weird feeling to not be able to control your own destiny when you've done so well throughout the season.
1-0 to Casey. Taken for a strike. Give credit to the Glacier Pilots, a team that started the year 1-3. All they've done is win 19 of their last 22 games. Hard to keep up with that. But the Miners, right there on the Pilots' heels. Wind continues to blow in from left to right. 1-1. Tapped in front of the plate. Kershaw off the mound to field that. His throw bounces and skips down the right field line. Walking home is Jacob Steele. Casey Censeri is going to be on his way to second. He's going to try for 3. The throw comes in, and the ball is dropped at third base by Dalton Bowling. All kinds of problems for the Oilers' defense. 3-0 Matsu.
Just a calamity of errors here and mistakes all over the field. In the second inning, the Miners take advantage here again as we see that one skip away. 2 free bases, another one for Jacob Steele, and another run. This is what you got to do. This is what winning teams do, Howie. They jump on you, they make it easy to slip up, and then they take advantage when you do so.
Yeah, Trey, there were actually 2 errors on that play. First on Kershaw, of course, who threw the ball down the right field line. But on that ball to third base, Dalton Bowling, if he catches it and applies the tag, Censeri's out. So E5 on Bowling on that drop. And now the 3rd error of the inning as 2 men are in. And the batter is Josh Pano, trying to make it 3 men in here in the second. Takes up and away for ball 1.
You get the meat of the lineup now. You get Pano, and Blake Avila, Alex Vergara, Nick Sorelli. Errors create opportunities here for the Miners.
1-0 the count on Peno. And he pops this one up. Right side of the infield, Shun Sakino waving his hands. His cap flies off, and he makes the catch in foul territory for out number 2.
Man, this Oilers team desperately needed that. As have the runner just 90 feet away, already 3-0 here. Sack fly would have made it 4, of course, and now 2 outs. Gotta drive the run home if you want it. But I like the hitter here, Blake Avila.
Avila looking for a big 2-out knock. 20 RBIs for Blake, who is still nursing a bit of an injured leg, but he'll be back to full strength soon enough. Smart by the Miners, put him in the designated hitter role in this one with a wet game. Pitch to him, up and away. Kershaw's looked shaky at times on the mound. Just had an error a moment ago. Not totally sharp with all of his pitches. And the Miners taking advantage early on. 3 hits. The first time through the order. 1-0 to Avila. Called strike over the outside corner. This is exactly what you want. If you're the Miners, this game, potential to be shortened. Got to get through the requisite 5. Have to be leading, of course, to win.
This is all it has to be, though, Howie. Get that early lead, take advantage of mistakes, and you got a dominant pitcher on the mound. Just trust him.
1-1. At the knees.
I know we got Owen Loesch, a couple doors down. We got Deborah Loesch entering the chat here. Welcome in. And we've had some connection issues throughout these first couple innings. I think we're good now, Howie. So, guys, if you couldn't hear us before, couldn't see us, let us know where you're watching from tonight. We have Diana Canales in from Pearland, Texas. Thank you for joining us as well, and for the heads up there.
1-2 is chopped softly back to Kershaw. He's got it, needs to make a good throw, and does to end the inning. The Miners score 2 more times here in the second. On to the third. Miners 3, Oilers nothing. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube.
You're up.
Top of the third. Miners lead 3-0. Second time through the order for Chandler David and Trey Beck. Fouled away. David struck out 5.
Thanks for joining us.
Swing and a miss by Becker, 0-2.
Chandler's been another one of these guys that's just so fun to talk to. Outside of the field, keeping it positive, keeping it lively in the locker room. And, another one of these guys that kind of turns the page when he gets on the mound.
0-2, fanned him. 6 strikeouts for David, 1 out here in the third.
Comes a little bit more quiet, a little bit more methodical, and obviously it pans out here for him. He has been dominant this season, and another dominant start so far tonight. Another strikeout there to get us started.
can't leave out, David's also a fisherman.
Hit big time.
Loves bass fishing on Lake Guntersville in our neck of the woods. And he has a future business in production, I think, as well, as he delivers ball 1 to Shoot Sakino. Got us set up and got us going during one of our virtual games in Anchorage. Looked great.
It looked
out
awesome.
there as part of the production team.
Chandler David.
Sakino fouls this one away.
Director David, maybe. Got us
like
going. Really helped us out. Big shout out to him, Casey Roll, as well, for getting us through that difficult stretch. A lot has happened since the last time we were here at Herman Brothers Field, but we are back.
1-1, slider and a beauty. Strike 2.
Had a trip to Kenai in that time. Had the chance to meet Riley Turner, along with the rest of the Steele family. They're tuning in tonight. Thanks for being here, guys. O'Fallon, Missouri. I know we got Farmington represented as well.
Sakino stays alive by fouling this one away.
Chickaloon, Alaska. What is going on, Broken Arrow? Our most loyal.
The 1-2 downstairs, 2-2. Feels like we've traveled to all those places during our road stand. A 13-game road stand that is finally over if this game can get through 5 innings. 7-6 for the Miners on that stand. Got over the hump with a win on Wednesday in Chugiak. 2-2. Sprayed foul. Sakino does such a good job. Slider, strike 3, outside corner, 7 strikeouts for David, 2 down in the third.
It is amazing how quickly he is working. In this game, too, we're seeing him throw a pitch, maybe take a half step, maybe just a half second even, and then get right back on the mound and fire up the next one.
And how about the game being called by Steven Lantia? Again, the Miners catchers calling these games, no longer being called from the dugout by Tyler LeBrun, pitching coach James Dillard. This is catcher and pitcher, baseball at its purest.
It's great.
And Noah Hennings, fastball that just missed the outside corner so far. David, like Elmore 2 nights ago, doing a great job mixing in fastball, mixing in slider, the occasional changeup. 0-1, up and in. And now 2-0 on Hennings.
Mrs. Coach Watson.
See
Fort Worth.
See Mr. Coach Watson hanging out by the first base dugout. 2-0 pitch, fastball right on by. That's what David has done so good early on, Trey. Virtually no one on the Oilers team has been able to catch up.
Smile there. He is so comfortable on the mound.
2-1, slider drops in, strike 2.
He just works. Look at this, already back on the rubber, already ready to go. Probably ready for another strikeout.
The 2-2. Just missed. David 3 steps off the mound, hand on head. Will have to head back to the rubber and try to strike out the side for the second time in this game. Full count pitch to Noah Hennings. Popped up. Jacob Steele, long run, shallow right. He's going to be called off by Alex Vergara, who puts it away for out number 3. Chandler David, through 3 scoreless innings, he struck out 7. Oilers to the bottom of the third. Miners 3, Oilers nothing. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Friend Lazy Mountain taking on the Rain Force right now. We appreciate it.
I don't know about friend. I mean, Lazy Mountain almost got the best of us, Howie. Do you not remember from the solstice? But no, friends over there, of course.
1-0 Vergara, grounded to third. Couple of hops for Bowling, and he throws across in time for out number 1. Oilers had a ton of trouble on defense in the last inning. 2 unearned runs scored by the Miners in that frame. There were 3 errors in the inning, 2 on Bowling and 1 on Connor Kershaw. Miners able to take advantage of the mistakes.
They've done it so well all year, and in this game tonight, had to do it early, they've done so. Now you can have fun with it a little bit. Reminds me of the start we saw against the Chinooks the other night.
Pitch to Nick Sorelli. Drops downstairs for ball 1. Sorelli got the scoring started in the first inning with a sacrifice fly.
Well, they said that this is a lot what it's like in the fall here in Alaska.
1-0. Upstairs, 2-0. Yeah, bit of a late summertime pattern here. Cloudy, a lot of rain. Expecting some more rain throughout the night. During the day tomorrow, Miners scheduled to play the Oilers again, 6 o'clock local time on Saturday. Sorelli takes outside for ball 3.
I like this. A little 2-game set.
8th game against the Oilers this year. The Miners are 6-1. A perfect record at Hellman Brothers Field where the Oilers haven't won in 4 years. 3-0. Called strike, 3-1.
That's just such an unbelievable number, isn't it? We heard that at the beginning of the season, and, you know, Jonah, our counterpart,
3-1 to Sorelli. Pops the mitt for strike 2.
doing play-by-play for the Oilers. Kind of told us that, and I thought it was a joke. You know, he was laughing about it. No, it's truly been 3 years now. Excuse me, 4 years now since the Oilers have won here.
Full count. Lashed down the left field line out of play.
We got the Rolkas in Dalton, Pennsylvania. What is going on, Rolka family? Let's go Miners. Yes. Trying to get back into first place. Could do so.
Strike 3 called, bottom of the zone on Nick Sorelli, who's victim number 2 here in the bottom of the 3rd. First strikeout of the game for Kershaw. Bases clean for Alex Hellman.
It's been so fun watching Alex Hellman. These first few games, didn't really know what we were going to be getting. Heard that get a new player about a little over a week ago. It's been a fun week.
Pitch to Hellman, lined up the middle and through. It's another hit for Alex, his 5th in a Miners uniform. A 2-out base runner for Matsu in the 3rd.
Has such a smooth swing, very easy. Doesn't look like he's having to overexert himself. Put a nice one on it there, and that ball had some power behind it. How you saw the shortstop, Trey Becker, just kind of stopped when that ball was hit. I think he thought it was at him, had some loop on it, and really a wicked base hit there.
The Miners, 17 wins in a row against the Oilers at Hellman Brothers Field. June 13th, 2018, the last time Peninsula was able to down the Miners in Palmer. Carter Young bats now. Swings at the first pitch and lifts it out of play.
What was your favorite part of the road stand? How he was 13 games and all kinds of new places?
You know, I'm going to have to go with recency bias and say the final game of the road stand. It was a surprise game. Of course, the road stand was supposed to end at 12-01. Down and in, 1-1 now on Young. Instead, we got it extended to 13. The Miners were able to come out above the high water mark, above 500. And, I mean, a 9-inning shutout by R.J. Elmore. How can't you love that?
That's a good one.
1-1 pitch to Young. Runner goes. Pitch is down and away. Carson Seaman can't get a handle on it. How about Alex Hellman? He picks up his 2nd swipe in his 6th game.
Oh, you know, he takes a lead about halfway down to second base, so we expected to see a lot of steals. Really aggressive base runner. Quick outfielder. Athletic. Gets good jumps, and that's what days like today give you the advantage of, how you can test the catchers. The grip isn't quite as good. You see a fumble there.
2-1 to Carter. Popped up out of play down the left field line. 2-2.
Carter just missed one in his first at bat. A couple feet away from the line. Would love to see him continue to get back in the flow of things. Had some time off. Kind of get a reset here for CY.
2-2 on its way to the center fielder. Fouled away. That one caught Seaman on the way back behind home. Up into the atmosphere. Full count pitch to Young. Out of play.
Yeah, and K. Watson making a good point. Our camera here been shifted by this wind a little bit. It is kind of moved it down there towards third base. An extra special look at Coach Watson so far tonight. Getting him his cameo.
Why not? Maybe you'll get to see him wave his arm around here if Young can knock one into the outfield. 3-2. Knocked into the outfield. Fair ball down the right field line. Hellman's going to score with ease. Carter Young's going to head to second. An RBI double for Carter, and the Miners lead 4-0.
You say it up here, it comes out down there, Howie. Need to get that crystal ball out a little bit more often, please. Miners love it.
Carter Young delivers. I just talk.
Catcher, Steven Lancia.
Great game for the Miners so far. They've scored in each inning. They batted 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, now 1 here in the third. And Steven Lancia, who scored one of the 4 runs, reached via an E5 his first time up.
Seems staged there, Howie.
Pitch to Lancia.
You're in cahoots with Carter.
Down and in, 1-0. Young's bat starting to come alive. Now a 3-game hit. Stays high. You can hear Kyle Watson going to work down there, telling Carter Young, clear, clear. When Shun Sakino departs from the second base bag, that lets Young know you can get a bigger lead, bigger secondary, try to come home on a hit by Lancia. (2-0 to Steven. Outside, 3-0. Watson sporting his black hoodie down there. White baseball pants to match the rest of the Miners. He's been busy early in this one. Lancia way ahead in the count,